Incredible man there. Now we're going to have a look at the international newspapers. France is with us here, and international papers, of course, continuing to talk about France's military intervention in Mali. You're going to start with the regional press there,
That's right. L'Observateur Palga from Burkina Faso points out that the whole region is rallying to support France, and all that is great, but the hardest is yet to come. It points out that the Islamists have vowed to put up a tough fight and wage a guerrilla warfare, and any coalition needs to be careful not to get sucked into the desert's quicksand, as they call it. It says that Malians certainly don't want the Sahel region to turn into a Sahelistan, as they call it. In other words, not to turn into an Afghan scenario.
Now, lots of countries, of course, have vowed to help France, but so far it does feel like France is acting on its own, doesn't it?
That's right. There's an interesting analysis piece by Simon Tisdall in The Guardian that calls it France's lonely intervention. And it says that though France's NATO allies like the UK and Germany, they're all applauding France's action, they're steering clear of Mali, what he calls it also a sand trap. And he says that according to experience, France, ill-served by its friends, has started something that it'll have great difficulty in finishing, and yet France has jumped in feet first here. Now, Britain has sent 2 cargo planes to help France, one of which is broken down reportedly. And The Independent has an exclusive report on its front page that points out that top brass within the British Army have warned the Prime Minister, David Cameron, not to get involved in this war in Mali, not to get bogged down in it. In their editorial, The Independent supports Britain's decision to send these planes. It says it's the right thing to do, not only because France and Britain have a defense partnership, it's also the moral, some sort of a moral obligation, because these Islamists in Mali were strengthened by an influx of mercenaries after the conflict in Libya, a conflict that Britain played a very pivotal role in. Now, The Independent, however, supports Prime Minister David Cameron's promise not to put boots on the ground. According to The Independent, this isn't a war for Britain to fight, it's a war for an African coalition to fight.
OK, well, let's move on to a different story, getting an awful lot of attention in the international papers. I suspect lots of pictures as well. Pollution in China, sparking an awful lot of anger.
That's right. Now, Sunday, the government issued its first ever orange alert health warning. And according to the Wall Street Journal, when Beijing city authorities say the air is hazardous, you know it's serious. But this one-time admission doesn't mean that there's going to be any action. It says that though this pollution problem, has grown to a point where it can no longer be denied, these protected, state-owned heavy industries continue to work hand in glove with the government. Now, there's a cartoon in China Daily that alludes to this, and it's interesting because China Daily is the official English language paper. But you see a drawing there of people wearing masks over their mouths and noses to protect themselves from this pollution. Meanwhile, heavy industrialist there has something covering his eyes while he's smoking a cigar that looks a lot like a factory chimney that's causing all this pollution.
OK. Lance Armstrong is going to give his first television interview. He has given it, hasn't it? It hasn't been broadcast yet, though, has it? This is, of course, to Oprah Winfrey.
That's right. It's going to be aired on Thursday. Details are starting to get leaked. This is an article in USA Today. They spoke to someone that was familiar with the interview. Now, this anonymous person says that Armstrong confessed that he used performance-enhancing drugs to gain an edge in cycling. Now, to find out more, you'll have to tune in on Thursday. And just to finish up on a more positive sports story today, on the front page of The Guardian, you see a photo of a woman named Sarah Taylor. She could be the very first woman to play for a men's county cricket side in Sussex. Now, she says, according to The Guardian, this 23-year-old is battling for equality. Now, I don't really know anything about cricket, so I'm going to try to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Now, she's leading wicket keeper for England's cricket team. She's seen as one of the best women cricket players in history. She says this prospect is phenomenal. She's really excited about it. But she says that it will not only be a psychological challenge, but also a physical one, because she's going to have to be facing bigger bowlers and bigger balls.
OK, facing bigger balls, that's well put. OK, she sits behind the stumps and tries to catch the ball.
Is that real?
That's real.
OK.
Yeah, it's kind of,
you're not pulling my leg here.
It's kind of layman's terms, but it's real. Florence, thanks a lot. Florence Wilbur with the international papers here on France 24 today. Here's the latest news headline.